Today we're doing syrup. So we want to try to pick the south side of the tree. And it doesn't have to be the south side, but for some reason that seems to be preferable. There's his depth. We try to choose a south side of the tree and over top of like a big root. Seems to be our luckiest area.
Alright. There we go.
Okay.
That's all our trees tapped.
You happy?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's gather up our tools.
Okay.
We'll come back tonight, empty the buckets. We do a few gallons a year here on the farm for ourselves and family. It's fun. We get the kids enjoy it. We tap probably around 10 to 12 trees. Let them run for a couple weeks. We only boil during the weekend. So what we'll do is we will take smaller buckets and we'll collect every day and we'll freeze them in two great big chest freezers that we have. We will freeze the sap during the week. Yeah, it takes a while to warm it up, but we don't have the ability to boil down sap all week. There's Justin. So what we'll do is we will freeze it all week, and then like Friday we'll take it out of the freezers and set it out so it can start to thaw. And then we'll use the sap out of the trees Friday for Saturday. Saturday morning we start the fire, and we will start to boil in two sides of this little 55-gallon drum thing I made. This side here, we'll put the ice to melt. And then this, you can see this is darker. It'll warm up here, and when it comes to temperature, that's what I fill that with. Okay, so it warms it up. So it's constantly boiling, and it works really fast. You would be surprised. And then we'll take it from there, and I bring it in here, and this is a little propane rig that I really cook it down until I get it in the house. And you can see the color in this. Much darker. So that's what we're doing today. And then we'll go in the house, and I'll show you once we get it down. It takes about 30 to 35 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. I see different estimates, 30 gallons to 1, 40 gallons to 1. I know that we use a brick meter, and so I don't know how much it took to get there. I'm just repeating what I heard. So between 30 to 40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of syrup. And I just wanted to show you how we get to this spot. And then I'll go in the house with the second half of the video and show you how we get it down to the good stuff. Okay, so we've taken what's left of the syrup and we brought it in the house to finish off. How we do that, how I do it, doesn't mean there's a bricks meter that you can buy that's a lot more accurate than this. This was pretty inexpensive. It's worked for us for the last 3-4 years. It's a precision hydrometer. Okay, these are about 30-35 bucks. What you get is you get a little bit of a container like this. This is the hydrometer itself. I'm going to fill this unit with syrup. And then this hydrometer, when the syrup sugar level is where it needs to be, see that red line right there? Okay. depending where it's hot or cold, okay, is which line you go by. That's where you want that line to float, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some syrup in there right now so I can demonstrate what I'm talking about, all right? So at that point, you can see it went right to the bottom. So we're nowhere near the sugar content where we need to be. If you're using something like this, the one thing you want to watch out for, all it is a little tube. It's got a little paper sleeve in there. I had one a couple years ago. This sleeve moved, okay? It lowered down to the bottom of here, and I didn't realize it until the maple syrup ended up turning into candy sugar. So the way to tell that this paper is where it needs to be is right at the very top here. You'll see that line? That's where that paper should be, right where that measurement stops. And you know it hasn't moved on you. This particular one I've had for 3 years. And again, it's just kind of a rolled up piece of paper that's in there. You see that? Okay, so like I say, it's like 35 bucks. You get what you pay for it. All right, but just keep an eye on it and you'll be good. These levels right here is the temperature. This one is cold temperature, 50 degrees. And this one is hot, 211. Okay? So when we need to be 211 degrees, at that point you use a candy thermometer. Okay? You can take this, clip it right on the side, just to monitor your temperature. Keep it as close to 210, 211 as you can. That's what's going to make this accurate. There's other ways. Before I had this, you know, you could roll it off a spoon. I've seen some people make some great syrup with none of this stuff. Okay? The very first year we did it, we didn't have anything. And it was decent. It was a little thin. We made it work. Second year we've got the hydrometer, and it works. We just do it for us and the family. We give little half pints to the folks and everybody. So this system here has been the most cost effective. Okay, like I said, the hydrometer was about $35. The candy thermometer I think was $10. And we just keep an eye on it. Okay? I usually do it right over top of it so we don't spill anything. But you'll fill this up. Drop it in. Empty the syrup back into the pan. And then I'll set this over here on this tin. Wait 20 minutes and do it again. We're real close. We're shooting for 59 bricks. Okay? Real close. So we turn the heat down. We're at 190. Okay? A very, very, very low. I'm not saying it's the perfect way. It's just the way we do it. Another reason for that is because I don't want to go over. We're really close to our last filter. At this point, we filter before it goes in for the cook. We filter before it goes to here. And we're going to filter one more time before it goes in the cans. So I believe we're where we need to be. Have to excuse my granddaughter in the background. So right there is what you're looking at, that red line. As long as she floats to that red line. Again, I don't want to take the chance of going too far and having this thing turn into a block of sugar. So with the level of experience I have, we're close enough. Okay. So what I'll do at this point is I have this filter that I bought. This is the final one. I filter it through cheesecloth and other stuff like that as we go through the process. And the final one, I've purchased this filter for this purpose. It's a much nicer filter. This was about 30 bucks, I think, on Amazon. And this will be the final filter into the pan before it goes into the jugs. I'll turn the heat down even more, and I'll start with a Pyrex measuring cup to get it down to the point where I can lift the pan, because there's probably about 1.5 gallons in there. A little bit too heavy for me just to pour it in. I'll just try to get it to drip off the bottom as much as possible. I'm 100% sure there's a better way to do this. I just haven't found it yet. Give me a hand for a second.
Me?
Yeah.
Am I gonna be a camera?
Probably.
Seriously? You know, I keep helping. I look homeless. He wants me to be a camera. You look better than me.
Okay, come on. Just hold this right there. Hang on to that.
Look at the color.
And what's really cool is I was recording all of that, so you'll see the homeless one later. Barely.
Bring that last thing this way just in case.
So there we are. There's the final. And now we're going to put it into the jars. Use a measuring cup, nice clean jugs. Okay, try not to spill it over your stove. Try not to spill it on the top. Make sure everything gets in. We're gonna fill it to about maybe a 1/4 to 3/16 from the top. And then what you'll do is you'll kind of flip them upside down. Store them on their side for a bit. Like this. Just maybe overnight. What that's going to do is kill any bacteria or anything that might be in the cap. You go ahead and cap them too. Yeah.
I'll listen to that video.
No, because I can edit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do all of this.
Oh, you're finally pouring it?
Yep, we're done.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, we'll see you up.